I'm here with Aaron of Rising Insane to talk about their latest record, Wildflowers, comes out August 23rd on Long Branch Records. First of all, thank you very much for taking the time to chat with me. How are things going with you?
It's a pleasure. Thank you too. Yeah, things are going quite good, I guess. I mean, today's Tuesday. Yeah, right. And on Friday, our new album will be out. So, yeah, pretty excited about how things will turn out for us. And yeah, so thanks for having us again.
You must be counting not only the days, but the hours and the seconds for this album to finally come out. Now, when you guys sat down to record this record, or even before that, when you guys sat down to make this album, what vision did you have for what you wanted this album to be?
That's a quite good question because we did not really know on how we want this album to be. We were just sure that we want to make something different in comparison to the albums that we have done before. Because Rising Insane exists since 2013, and we were making the same type of metalcore music for almost 10 years. So we thought about changing our style a bit, and I think we did.
And how did you go about doing that? Was it an organic way of creating a new sound, a new outlook, or did you guys set some boundaries or on what you wanted specifically to change?
I think it's the most easiest way to explain it like this. We are having these cover songs like Maniac and Blinding Lights. And whenever we played these songs live, we noticed there was kind of energetic shift going on in the venue. And people were happy. They had smiling faces and they were partying like never before. And we thought about making music that takes that builds up on that feeling, like making metal but sounding more happy, more metal to party to. So we thought that might be a good direction. Maybe it might be some kind of metalcore that hasn't been done before. So we thought that might be a good shot.
One of the things I noticed about this record is that it still relies heavily on the drum sound, on the guitar sound to really carry itself all the way forward. You see a lot of metalcore bands these days going really heavy on the synths, really going really heavy on the electronic elements that kind of overtake the album, and you can barely even hear sometimes the guitars. You guys didn't do that on this album. You still have some electronic synths elements on the record, but at the end of the day, you could totally feel the drums, you could totally feel the guitars. Was that something that was important for you to create that fun vibe, but not forget the metal side of things?
Um, it's good that you recognize it because I did not. I guess it's just part of our songwriting to, yeah, keep these you know classic instruments of metalcore the not not lose them in the background but keep in the foreground. So well, I think this might be just random, but we used to rely on these kind of rock and metal music where you feel like it comes from the people playing on stage and not from a box that is kind of backstage somewhere. So that you still, when you're in the audience, you still get the impression that these people on stage up there, they are making the music.
Do you look back at this record and think that maybe this is going to be the best way to move forward, or is it still too early?
Well, I think we will see how things turn out. For me, right now, it was this record is a good way to have do some progress. Um, yeah, so I'm quite how do I say it in English? Well, I'm excited to how things will change for us as a band, how the fans of Rising Insane are um yeah how they um feel about the album. Yeah.
It will take its time. Now, I have
Yes.
curiosity when it comes to the title of the record, Wildfires. What inspired that title?
We were well, I was writing the lyrics for the album. I felt like there's so much going on in the world lately. So much pain, so much hate. Everywhere you look to the left, you look to the right, and see people hating. Rather social media, the comment sections, or it's yeah, there's a war here, a war there. So I felt like everywhere you go, everywhere you look, there's a kind of a fire burning. It's fire of hate, fire of homophobia, fire of racism, you know. And I felt like we are surrounded by fires, so that made me bring the title Wildfires, because the whole planet is kind of on fire right now.
I always felt like your music and your lyrics had a very deep emotional touch to them. It's when I listen to Rising Insane, there's always an emotional backdrop that comes with every single song, with the way they sound, with the way you put the lyrics forward. Do you use the lyrics? Do you use the band as a little bit of your therapist, if you will?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I I'm the vocalist who writes the lyrics. I heard that there are bands where the vocalist does not write the lyrics, and well, for me, that wouldn't be. I think I could not cope with that. But for me, writing the lyrics for the band is kind of, yeah. It brings me forward and gives me some progress in my own mental development. And yeah, it's kind of a therapy thing for me. And often when I write lyrics, I just switch off my head and just write what's inside of me. And when I then drop the pen, I often feel like, wow, that was inside of me. So I learned something new about myself. I think that's very important for me as a writer and a singer.
When you're performing the songs live, do you relive it a little bit, or you've grown beyond it?
It depends. There are some lyrics that when I performed in some years back, I did not I did not felt them so much, but the older you get, you know, I think the more melancholic, the more nostalgic you get. So there are some tracks of ours that when we perform them now, I really feel the lyrics deep inside of me, and sometimes they hit me quite hard. So we most of these songs we are not playing anymore, luckily, because they were getting harder for me to sing, to perform, because it was very emotional lyrics, like from Porcelain and from Afterglow. Right now we have some emotional lyrics, of course, on the new record as well, and but they are more up to date, and I don't know. I just wrote them down. They are they are present to me, so I think they won't hit me that hard because it's a present state of my mind, and they don't hit me from the blind side. So I guess I can get along with that.
How was this album for you vocally? Did you set some challenges for yourself that allows you to continue to develop and grow?
Definitely. There were songs that I wrote or the wrote the lyrics for that were quite easy. Like Monster is a song that is quite easy to sing for me. It does not go very high the range. It's a rather vibey vocal track, so that was quite easy, and I really love it to have, for example, for the live performance, to have a song where you know, okay, I can get it done easily, although it's like we are playing a show for more than 90 minutes or something, I can still do the song. But there are also songs like Wildflowers, the title track of the album, which is quite hard to sing, also Carousel. And I challenged myself to get this style of screaming, shouting, and singing like Sam Carter. There was something like I was hoping for, to be able to do this for almost 5 years, I guess, at least 6 years. Yeah, I think when Architects released Doomsday, I was like, oh man, I need to be able to sing a stream like that. So that was a challenge I put up to myself, and I'm pretty happy that I finally able to manage this to sing in style like these some people call it mellow shouts. Yeah, so still some practice left for me to do. Still some things that I could get more perfectly, but yeah, that's it.
You mentioned Architects. Are they a big inspiration for you when it comes to the vocals?
Indeed, yeah, they are. I mean, Sam Carter is like one of my idols, one of my favorite singers and shouters. But when it comes to inspiration for the Wildfires album, we also have to say that we were looking for some pop and rock influences, and we were listening a lot to Don Broco because they have this happy attitude in their songs. They have this, you know, killer vibe when they are performing on live on stage, and we thought like, well, that might be that might be the little touch that we want to give to our metalcore music to evolve.
When it comes down to the songwriting aspect, is there inspiration coming from other places?
Um, we were listening pretty much to bands like Van Halen, and more rock bands from the well from 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way through. And we will always feel like they have this groovy, this happy vibe, this badass touch, and we felt like we want to have that too. So I guess pretty much comes from these decades. Yeah.
When you look at because you mentioned some songs on this record still have a personal touch. When you look at those songs, which one is the most personal one to you?
It's definitely The Door and Lighthouse. The Door is a song that lived in my head rent free for over 2 years, I guess. I was writing that song on my piano when we moved in our new house 2 years ago. There was almost nothing in the house but the piano, and I sat down and just pushed the E on the piano like ding, 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 and I just started thinking about, well, how could this simple one note develop into a whole song? And I was, yeah, feeling the song for like half a year, and in my head it goes and goes and goes ding ding, and then suddenly the idea for the hook came into my mind, and since then that chorus lived in my head rent free, and it took like almost 2 years to get a full song out of it. And this song called The Door is about me myself struggling with past events, with still depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stuff, and I've always felt like I'm so close get get over all this, but I need to open this particular door, and it's always locked for me. So the song I'm questioning on how am I supposed to open this door. So that's quite the most personal song on the record. And Lighthouse is the song that I wrote for one of my best friends who's struggling with depression lately. I was thinking about what did I wanted to hear from one of my friends or a random person. So I thought on writing him a song on, yeah, what he might love to hear in this hard times for him.
One of my favorite songs on the record is Wildflowers, the closing track. I think it's just a magnificent song, really well put together, a great way of finishing off the album. What's a little bit of the story behind that track?
Oh, a Wildflowers is a song that the instrumental is was one of the first instrumentals we had finished for the album. But I was hesitating so long on doing the vocals for this track because I knew that they were gonna be very, very difficult to sing, to scream, and also there had to be some things done in the instrumental as well. And so I had time on on writing the lyrics, and I had a lot of time on how I want the song to be lyrically and also from the singing style. Um, and lyrics I wrote them like almost as the last lyrics I wrote for the album, and so it this song summarizes the whole feeling of the album. That's also a reason why it's the title track of the album, because it summarizes all the topics given in the album. And yeah, I hope that answers the question kind of.
It
Yeah.
does. And actually it begs another question because when you mentioned that, there are some personal songs on the record, you guys wanted to make an album that's a lot more fun, that resonates with people, that has a positive attitude. That begs the question of does the band reflect who you are as a person, or does it give you also a way to escape it?
Oh, that's a damn good question. I don't know how to answer that. Um, I'm, I really don't know how to answer that because that's a question I never thought about before. Mm, Dankeschön. That was my niece telling me that the hot dogs are ready.
You know,
So sorry, can you just repeat the question and I might get back
yeah,
to you?
yeah. I was wondering, like, do you use the band as a reflection of who you are as a person, or there's also room for you to escape who you are when you're making music, when you're writing
Yeah,
songs
I think
and
it's
lyrics?
thank you. It's I think it's 50-50. Sometimes I'm evolving when we are practicing, when we are having shows. I'm evolving into a person that I feel like I'm liking more than I do like the person that I am for everyday life. But also, the band gives me room to set my goals and to work on myself for the person who I want to become. So I think it's a 50-50 thing.
And I know that the hot dogs are going to get cold, so I'm not going to take too much of your time.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Everybody knows just my little niece, and she doesn't know.
But the hot dogs, you don't want to eat those cold. They have to be nice and warm. Like
Yeah,
like you
that's
gotta you
that's
gotta you gotta do it properly. So I just have a couple more
that's right.
questions for you. And one of those is, where can fans see you guys live now that the album is just around the corner?
There we going on a headline tour this winter, like starting at the end of November, and we're doing 8 shows throughout Germany. We did the United and Conquer Land tour this spring. We had 9 shows across Germany, and now with the Wildflowers tour, we are doing 8 cities more that we haven't played before. So we're pretty excited on how we gonna connect with the fans with the new music we wrote, and I'm pretty excited to do this tour.
On that tour, will Wildfires be taking most of the set list?
I think it's a 50-50 kind of thing, but Wildflowers as a whole record, yeah, surely. We're gonna play right now. We have the last shows we played, there were like 5 songs of Wildfires in the set, which is almost the half of the whole album. And I think we're gonna add like 2 or 3 more, but we did not quite think about the whole set we're gonna play on tour, but it's probably contain like most of the songs of Wildfires.
Well, Aaron, once again, thank you for taking the time to chat with me. Don't let those hot dogs get cold. Congratulations on the record. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at some point in time. This album, to me, it's another step in the evolution of the band. I've been following you guys for a long time, so this record shows me that you guys continue to evolve, continue to grow, and you've grown quite a bit over the last 4 records, including this one. So congratulations for all the hard work.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care, man. All the best. Enjoy the hot dogs.
Yeah, I will. Thank you. Thank you. See you soon.
Bye.